Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Ticket. My name is Ruth O'Brien, Senior Director of AI Support at Intercom, meaning my team are the folks who deploy Fin for our own customer support team and show it off to the best of its ability to our customers. I'm joined today by Declan Ivory, VP of Customer Support at Intercom, aka my boss, and we're going to talk about an amazing event we had in New York called Pioneer. So, Declan, hello, welcome to The Ticket.
Thanks, Ruth. Delighted to be here and delighted that we're going to be talking about Pioneer. What an amazing event. I know we've a lot to get through, so really looking forward to the conversation.
Pioneer was absolutely amazing. The two of us were on the ground in New York and obviously had an absolutely fantastic time speaking with our customers and industry peers. But what were your main takeaways, Declan?
I think, for me, it was really about getting really energized and excited about the future. Like the impact of AI on customer experience is really accelerating. I think that was one of the key takeaways from the event itself. And the impact is way beyond anything that we conceived when Fin was launched in early 2023. Like we're really seeing new use cases, different use cases, customers really using Fin in a very innovative way. And also some of the new product launches as well, underpinning that ability to really drive a customer experience using Fin. But I say really energized by the fact that it's really accelerating. The pace of improvement is phenomenal.
Absolutely. And Pioneer transcended AI for customer service, right? We've been speaking all along about Fin being an AI agent for customer service teams, but now we're moving into this broader realm of customer experience. Super exciting times for us, but do you want to tell us a little bit more about what happened there?
Yeah, so I think we've all kind of conceived that, with Fin as an AI agent, you can actually radically change customer experience. But we did focus a lot on it through the customer service and customer support lens. And now all of a sudden, like there are lots of other use cases where Fin can actually add a lot of value to any customer interaction and any customer engagement along the entire customer journey. And that's what we're beginning to see in terms of our customers using Fin, and also in terms of what we're building into the product and the capability, particularly the customer agent announcement that was part of Pioneer.
Exactly. And we've been trying this out quite a bit ourselves, right? Even quite some time back, we were talking about how we could use different Fin features that we have available to us right now to do things like be a bit more consultative, like a CSM, do things like recommend various different other features and functionality that a customer should be using while they're interacting with Fin. And also Fin for a more sales use case as well. We've been trying that out where we don't actually want Fin to completely close the conversation in these situations. We actually want them to open up the conversation and keep speaking with the prospect that's there and try and get more out of them, to understand what it is that they really need. And then ideally route them to a human salesperson when necessary.
Absolutely, but doing that with a lot of context, making like a very personalized experience as well. So it's really transforming that customer engagement piece, and it's a different feel than we might have anticipated back 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And we also launched Fin 3. So we had some amazing keynotes from our CEO, Owen McCabe, and our Chief Product Officer, Paul Adams. Really, really impressive stuff in there. On the stage, I was literally saying the words wow out loud. Uh, can you just tell us a bit more about what is Fin 3 and what it's going to mean for our customers?
Yeah, so Fin3 is effectively our most advanced AI agent for customer service yet. Like it's really designed for instant high quality support across more channels and with greater depth than ever before. And there are a couple of key features or capabilities that we're launching. The first one is Fin Procedures. And that's really about handling very sophisticated workflows. And I'm really excited to see Procedures because while Fin has been really successful to date at handling customer service interactions, this is really a breakthrough capability that takes Fin Impact to a whole new level. It allows teams to design step-by-step workflows for even the most complex business interactions. And I think that's the key thing. This is about actually delivering outcomes for customers, not just answering informational queries. And building on a lot of capability that we had there already with Fin, particularly leveraging the fact that you can interface Fin with your underlying data systems as well. Now we're adding in a huge amount of natural language instructions that will allow you to define very complex workflows, allow you to be deterministic in terms of outcomes if that's required, but also leveraging the agentic capability within Fin to make decisions on the spot and make that interaction with the customer very personal and very contextual based on exactly where the customer is. So building up that type of very comprehensive logic and capability, it's something we've all wanted. And we've really put a whole lot of structure around that with Fin Procedures and really made it applicable to the widest range of use cases possible. Now, obviously, in that world, it's important as well that if you're going to carry out really kind of important business transactions for your customers, that you can test ahead of time what's going to happen. And simulations is really our whole test capability for Fin. It's really upping the game around how you can test any changes that you make in terms of your AI agent or in terms of Fin. You can really understand what's the impact going to be on the customer experience. Will Fin operate in the way that you expect it to operate? So having that ability to really test at scale is really, really important. And I've talked as well about dealing with customers in the context that they're in, and part of that context is the number of channels that we have made available. So again, we launched channels for Slack, for Discord, and Fin Voice. So again, we're just opening up the possibilities for customers to have a seamless interaction with Fin, irrespective of their channel of choice. Again, just really, really kind of meeting customers where they are and allowing them the opportunity to leverage the capability of Fin no matter what. And then also we made changes to Fin Insights. So again, we want to be able to make sure that we have this, what we call flywheel effect, around really improving how Fin operates on a day-to-day basis. And while we launched a lot of great capability earlier this year, we launched even more Pioneer. So again, making Insights a lot more robust. And at the same time, we've also put a lot of effort into tuning our underlying AI models as well. So we talk about our custom models, and we have 5 particular custom models where we've done a lot of training of the models to really optimize the experience for our customers and the performance of Fin. So quite a broad set of capabilities that we've announced as part of Fin 3, and not really able to do it justice in this short period of time. But it is such a comprehensive set of capabilities. It is taking Fin to a whole new level in terms of where customers can deploy and use Fin and drive business benefit.
It's actually incredible. You were listing a whole bunch of things there, and each one of them, I could just see, like, as a customer service leader myself, how applicable they are to myself and my day to day, my team's day to day. And I'm so excited for our customers to get their hands on these features, because we work at Intercom, we get our hands on these things early, right? So we've had our own version of testing and iterating on all this stuff as we've gone along. I'm just thinking about the Slack channels that we're using Fin with, thinking about the various procedures that we have set up already ourselves, and we're going to do a whole other podcast episode about that. But this functionality is game-changing stuff. And if we think back a couple of years ago, and we were so impressed and amazed by the fact that AI could answer the FAQ kind of more transactional stuff and do it really, really well. Like, I'm going to be honest, I thought it was going to be a lot further along, many years from now before it was able to do the kind of things that you're speaking about now, that big long list of functionality and advanced features. It's actually absolutely amazing stuff, and it's happening so fast. It's incredible to see Intercom at the forefront of that. Also, our Chief Strategy Officer, Des Traynor, gave us a compelling overview of the transformative possibilities of AI. And he led an illuminating roundtable discussion with Nick Clark from BCG, Jeff Afana from Toast, and Mariana Khrushchev from Crypto.com. What did you think of that discussion, Declan?
Well, before I talk about the discussion, I do want to actually highlight Des's own keynote itself. Des had this really compelling keynote that talked about the concept, or actually more accurately, the reality of AI as a convergent force. And this kind of led into the panel discussion, but I just want to cover Des's keynote. Like, AI is really collapsing silos and transforming organizations into leaner, tech-enabled systems where a single intelligent agent can do the work of many tools and teams. And this really underpins the concept behind our customer agent announcement at Pioneer as well. So the way Des was positioned, AI is allowing a new era of adaptable generalists, is the term he uses, to emerge. And they're really empowered by AI to drive impact across functions and across roles. So again, it's really enabling organizations to think differently about how they might structure into the future. So the implications here are really far-reaching. And it does mean that many of the skills that are valued today will be used in different ways. And this concept of being able to use AI to augment your skills and actually take on other work is actually really real and very tangible. And I'd say this really underpins the thinking behind the customer agent. Now, on the panel discussion, I think there's some really, really interesting perspectives here. Like, Nick in particular provided some perspectives, as a consultant with BCG. Like, he's really seeing customers, treating customer service in the same vein as product ownership or product management. And that's an interesting concept, because if you think about it, what you do with AI is almost like a product in its own right from a customer service or customer support point of view. You want to iterate on it all the time. You want to make sure you're improving things, and you have to have that product mindset to really make that happen in the best way for your customers. There was also his interesting perspective that customer service should really be a change-driven organization with sufficient technical skills to manage and operate AI autonomously. Like we want to be able to do service design, service delivery within the support organization. And that means we do need to look at it almost as a change management project. It's not just about delivering new technology. It's actually how do you use that in the best way possible, and how do you actually make the right customer experience, or how do you deliver the right customer experience. So that change-driven piece was a really interesting message from Nick. And then he also said that customer service is actually, the proof point of the AI hype. It's actually very real. Like in customer service and customer support, people are seeing real success already with AI. So to some extent, while some people say, oh yeah, there's a lot of AI hype, in customer service, it's not hype any longer. It's reality, and AI is transforming customer service. There's some really, really interesting perspectives from Nick. And then Toast's experience is also interesting, like Jihad's perspective that in an AI world, your support and product strategy are effectively merging. And that's kind of somewhat similar to the team that Nick was speaking about. And you are behind the times if you're treating them separately. And I also loved his real conviction that if you improve the customer experience, the margin will come. And AI is undoubtedly improving customer experience. So from that point of view, like the fact that, take the focus off cost and really focus on driving customer experience, that's ultimately what gives you the most value back to your business. So I think the narrative has changed from AI driving cost improvements or cost efficiencies to AI is actually driving real value. And that came out clearly from Nick and Jihad's perspectives. And the result is that like customer service, customer experience leaders can lead and should lead the catalyst for company-wide transformation. And we're seeing that already. Like many of my peers are now taking on broader roles within their companies, driving full business transformation. And it was great to see the messaging coming out through that panel discussion, very clearly underpinning that.
Yeah, it's really cool to see support, which was often, let's be real, a little bit of a forgotten team in many companies before, something you just kind of have to do. And now the support team and support leaders and the folks across their organizations are the ones who are actually leading AI transformation. We heard of digital transformation over the years, right? But now it's actually really happening, and it's being led by a team who would have been a bit more in the shadows in the past. There were also various discussions at Pioneer between members of our solutions and success team and some of our most prominent customers. So Isabel Laro from Anthropic, Shane McCarthy from SolidCore, Michelle McGowan from Rocket Money, and Hilary Dudek from Gamma. We heard leaders from numerous different industries share how they reshape their teams, their tools, tactics, all around embracing the AI transformation. So can you tell us a bit about the common themes that you heard across those discussions, Declan? And then maybe like what are common themes in general when you interact with our customers or go to these kinds of events?
So I think for me, if we look at the Anthropic discussion in particular, it was really around like what should your approach be for actually implementing AI in your business, and it really mirrored what we were trying to push with the blueprint that we launched a while back, where we have this kind of launch phase and scale phase. And Isabel really talked through that at depth around the importance of having a launch phase where you're kind of learning, iterating, and then a scale phase where you're really scaling it out across your business. And in particular, I think there were three things that she highlighted that mirrored what we have in the blueprint. Like the customer experience, you have to be really intentional about the customer experience you're trying to drive. It just doesn't happen by chance. So it's really thinking through that customer experience piece is really, really critical, in terms of how you scale out AI or AI agency in your business. The design of your sport organization, you've got to think differently about how you structure, because at the end of the day, a lot of your work is now going to be handled by an AI agent. So to some extent, you got to build your organization around the AI agent and around what you need to feed it and keep it improving all the time. So that kind of continuous improvement mindset, flywheel mindset, you got to build that into how you structure your support organization. And even the human support roles that exist will change as well over time. So it's great to see Isabel bring that out in our discussion very clearly. And then, she also talked about looking at the full economic impact of AI. And that, again, is really mirroring the messaging that we have of moving from being purely a cost center to actually being a value driver for the business and being able to demonstrate that. So it's great to see Isabel underpin some of those key characteristics that we've highlighted in the blueprint. And then the wider discussion later on between Gamma, Rocket Money, and SolidCore, there are a number of key themes that came out here. The first, and it was quite clear, everyone led off with this, like you have to have a clear business problem that you're trying to solve. Like what are you actually trying to do with AI? It's not AI for AI's sake. You actually have a problem that you're trying to address. And they were all very clear around the problem that they were trying to address. And it's great to see that in the discussion. The other key theme is that like scaling is really enabled by AI. If you've got peaks in your business, you can use AI to absorb those peaks. If you're experiencing general growth in your business as well, you can really scale what you do using Fin and using AI as opposed to all the time throwing humans at the problem. So again, that came out clearly in discussion around some of the value propositions for Fin. The other interesting thing was around taking some risks within bounds. I mean, obviously, you've got to be careful around how you roll out a Fin or an AI agent, but there is an ability to move faster than you might anticipate. I think that was one thing that came out through the discussion. And there's also the fact that the customer experience is actually going to be better than you anticipate. So you can actually be a lot more kind of bullish around getting your customers to interact with an AI agent and actually have a really good experience. And then the other important message that mirrors kind of what Isabel was saying, like, don't forget to support Fin like any other support rep. You've got to make sure that you're setting up the right structures to optimize Fin and make Fin perform at its best levels possible. So again, that was another clear message that came out from the panel discussions.
Love it. And I love to hear those messages ring really true of what we've experienced ourselves on our own support team. So there is this consistency now across the industry around some of the things that you really need to do. So not AI for AI's sake, like you were saying, and really transforming your teams and thinking about the support team and the humans there differently. And that it's not all about cost cutting or just efficiency overall. It is actually about doing things differently and driving value for your customers and for your business via your support team. So love to hear it. Okay, so we're starting to wrap up. For anyone who didn't get to go to New York and see myself and Declan on the stages live ourselves, you will be able to catch up with the keynotes and the discussions that we spoke about over on pioneer.fin.ai. Thanks, everybody.